Yeah. Um, what was I gonna say? But yeah, the like I think it's just accumulation of volume.
Probably, yeah.
Just too
Do you
much that
think
week. Because I hadn't trained
th-
properly for like 2 weeks because the Melbourne guys coming over.
true, true. How about East Bay? Does it hurt East Bay?
No, like it's so weird, dude. It doesn't hurt squatting, it
Mm.
doesn't hurt bending over, it doesn't hurt doing an East Bay attempt, it doesn't hurt doing anything other than sitting f for too long.
Mm. Yeah, it sounds like you might be onto something though with the facet joint.
Why?
Because they're like all the symptoms I had when I hurt my facet joint. Maybe like 3 months ago.
So nothing bothered it but sitting.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, well, but like, it's like sitting after like an hour, then it would start like aching, or like sitting in a car, because
It
especially
depends
because your
how
legs are like
it
out.
depends how inflamed it is, I guess, and the position.
Okay, yeah, I guess it depends on which one it is as well. Like what's gonna hurt it. If it's higher up or lower up, lower down.
Yeah. Like, so wait, what did you do in that situation?
Literally treated it like my actual disc injury.
So what did you do?
Reduce load and slowly reintroduce load. Made sure there was no just like residual tightness like throughout the day. So like I would actually, if I just like, because it was mainly on my left side, if I would touch it, it would feel like 6 times tighter than my right side. So I was just thinking to myself, if I'm walking around every day and it's this tight and sitting down, it's not, it's definitely not helping. So I made sure it was, I got it loose, um, just so it's not getting pulled on all day. But I
And
don't know
did
if
you,
yours is, if yours is actually like tight. Like my left QL was just like rock solid, and my right one was fine.
the muscles are probably tightened a little bit, but they don't feel that tight. But um, like uh, like where the facet joints are, the sides of my like spine, they feel like
Mm.
a little bit like sore, but it's like really dull. Like the pain's like really dull. It's like not bad, but it's just like still annoying. It's enough to where like, oh fuck, I gotta get up now.
Does it
You
hurt
know?
to touch? Like, does it hurt to palpate
No, not
anywhere in
like
the
not
spine?
really.
That's
Like
good.
not too much.
That's really good.
Like it's not. It's like minor. So that's where I'm just like I'm gonna keep my volume like the same, and then because like I think I lost a bit of core strength as well because I didn't train my core properly for a while. So
Yeah.
like I'm gonna get my core stronger again and um just keep my volume like somewhat the same.
Hmm.
And I think it should be okay.
Wait, are you wearing a belt to squat still? Or did you get rid of it?
No, I am. Oh,
Just for
I
your top set?
especially, huh?
Just for your top set?
Normally I
Or
do, but on Monday I did it for all my sets
okay.
just in case because it just gives you
Oh,
extra
because you're
stability
back.
and support. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So it's just like, why not? Why wouldn't I? You
You're
know?
squatting once, yeah, you're squatting once a week right now, hey?
Yeah, only once. I only
Okay.
need to squat once.
No, I was just thinking like, have
Yeah.
you increased your squat volume or something? But no, you
Yeah,
haven't.
I did.
Uh,
So I added two more sets.
oh, okay, there you go, I guess.
So it was like three. So I did three hard sets, and then so I you know, three times the volume because
Did it hurt? It
I
didn't
would
hurt
have,
before then, yeah.
huh? Yeah, because when the Melbourne guys were over, I only did
Mm.
like one set for like 2 weeks of squats. So over the course of 2 weeks, I only did two sets of squats because I was just trying to stay more fresh. So I would have deconditioned.
Mm.
And then, even though it's like in the grand scheme of things, it sounds like fuck all volume, it's still an increase, you know? So, and then on top of that,
Yeah.
other things as well, like upper body and all that, you
Mhm.
know?
That's funny you say that. Now that you said that, I'm now actually starting to think about my own training. And I was the same. When the Melbourne guys were here for like a good 1.5 weeks, I only, or even like before, because I was like obviously deloaded, I was doing like maybe one heavy squat, you know, maybe like after dunking or something. And it wasn't even like super heavy. It was like, a heavy triple or a heavy double, something like that. And then for, obviously while they're over here, we didn't train our legs too hard. But pretty much like the day they left, I've been going ham and I've been squatting 3 times a week. And guess what? My knees flare up. So It's now that I'm thinking about it, it's not actually so like surprising that they flared up because you don't do anything for 2 weeks. Well, not do don't do anything, but reduce the squat load and then increase the squat load. Like it's kind of silly not to think that they're gonna flare up.
Yeah. No, definitely. Because when you think about it, like even for me, like I had an increase in volume, I guess
Hmm.
suddenly, even though I don't think it was much, was obviously it was.
Yeah,
And I lost a bit of core strength as well. So I think that's those two things contributed to more
that
loading
make
in my spine than normal. So it was probably just too quick in terms of accumulating load. That's why my back is how it is. So
yeah. Hmm.
um yeah, like I'm probably not
Mm.
just thinking about it now, like I'm probably not gonna decrease my loading, overall loading, but in terms of the loading on my spine, I will. So
Okay.
like if I can, I'm gonna try keep those squats in once a week and everything else in once a week. But just in terms of just upper body and shit like that, like instead of doing barbell overhead press, I'm gonna switch that to like a machine overhead press.
Hmm.
I don't really fucking need to barbell overhead press. I can get the same benefits from a machine and just let my back settle down and just doing things like that to decrease the
Yeah.
volume. Um, like even just decreasing my jump volume as well. So instead of jumping for an hour and a half, jumping for an hour and 10 minutes or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're a time person, aren't you, for your jump sessions? You don't count your
Oh, I never
jumps.
used to be, but my knees aren't sensitive anymore, so I just like, oh fuck it, I'll just go for time.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
fair
have to
enough.
be as exact with things. I think if you like struggle with knee pain and your knees are a bit more sensitive, you need to be more exact and count your jump reps. But right now, it's just like I have no pain, and my body's much more durable in terms of my tendons and
For
stuff like
sure.
that. So I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'll jump for 60 minutes, rather than I'm going to do 50 jumps exactly. If it ends up being 55 jumps or 45, like who gives a fuck?
It's
And if I start getting tender pain a little bit, then I'll just be more exact with it.
yeah. Yeah, well, for guys like Adam, Chad, people might have seen us repost their stuff. They're like the kind of people you have to like dial in, with exact numbers, exact rest times, all that kind of stuff, because left to their own devices, they're going to do too much, right? And they've said this to us, like they kind of need us to say, all right, you're gonna go in, you're gonna do your isometrics, you're gonna do, whatever, 4 sets this week, and then you're gonna go do your warm up, and your warm up's exactly 10 meters for each different like variety. And then you're gonna do, a sprint, 2 sets, 35 meters exactly. And then they want to be told exactly how many jumps to do, because if they don't, they're more than likely gonna do too much because they love it. But also like you said, you're not injury prone, but these people are more on that side of things right now. So that's why, obviously you need to be pretty individual when you're writing your program or getting a program written for you.
Yeah, and if you're in more of the acute phase of an injury, you need to be a little bit more careful and sensitive with load increases and exercises and all that. Um, like speaking of which, when you had your facet joint injury,
Yeah.
were you doing core exercises, Tom?
No, no direct core exercise. Oh, not as much as I should.
Why? Oh, just lazy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
but you feel like you should have been.
Probably, yeah. But
No,
I don't
okay.
think that was the root cause.
No.
Crazy to think, but I'd go as far as to say it's 95% of my injuries are load management issues. I think you'd
Yeah.
be the same, correct?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I can't even think. Other than like maybe when I hit my finger on the ring and it broke, you know, and it dislocated. So that's the only
But
one I can really think of.
even in terms of me right now, though, I'm gonna start doing way more core exercises, but I'm gonna start with more like isometric ones. Not so much dynamic where I'm moving and flexing and shit. I'm just thinking about it because while my back is a bit more sensitive, I'm just gonna let it calm
Mm,
down first, and then once it's okay, then I'll slowly reintroduce that stuff again.
nah, for sure.
Because that's
Bit of
gonna help.
stabilization.
Yeah, because that's gonna help on or like offload it a little bit, and the spine's not gonna have to work as hard.
Yeah, but you don't feel like during your dribble phase, do you?
Hey?
You don't feel it during your dribble East Bay attempts
No,
for the
I don't
back.
like see I don't feel it. Like it's not like a I don't think it's an injury where it's just kind of like, oh, it's just one day, oh, I just suddenly hurt it. It's just an overuse. I think it's just a slight
Hmm.
overuse injury, just thinking about it now.
Yeah,
So it's just a little bit inflamed and just needs a week or two to relax again and not overload it and let it settle down and I think it'll be okay.
fair enough.
But it's just
I don't even know.
interesting and it's
Yeah,
just
well,
and
you go.
I was just gonna say it's just interesting. It's just fucking annoying and because I can't
Yeah,
pinpoint a time where, oh yeah, I heard it then. There wasn't, you know? So
that's how you know it's overuse.
yeah.
Can't pinpoint a time, and you're just like, oh, well, this just started hurting. Weird.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Um, but yeah, speaking of dribble dunks anyways, um, yeah, I was watching some of my footage this week and I found out something very interesting, like with my own dribble technique, because I feel like I used to be way better at dribble dunks than I am now. Because I was just studying footage. I was looking at Jordan do dribble dunks because it's the same plan and dribbles was right hand like me. And I was watching some of
Mm,
my older dribble dunk attempts and versus my dribble dunk attempts now because they've recently felt a bit more like not as fluent, awkward, like not as smooth. And couldn't figure out why. I just thought, oh, I'm just a bit rusty with them. I need to practice some more. Right. But when I was looking more closely at the footage, I think it's to do with like my technique and how I'm actually executing the dribble and the approach. Because what I worked out is back
okay.
in the day when I was a lot better at dribble dunks, um, and even like I felt like I got higher on them, even though I'm producing more power now, which that shouldn't be, how it is. I should be jumping higher on a dribble dunk when I'm producing more power. So it must be a skill aspect of why I'm not. And what I realize is I'm taking like too long to gather the ball. And because of that, it's screwing with my penultimate step. So I'm not getting as much of a push. My lowering isn't as good. So I'm not getting as much horizontal velocity into my approach, which is therefore like reducing my jump height and my how high I'm getting off the ground. So it's affecting.
Wait, are you saying you used to do that
Yeah, no,
better?
I used to be a
Ah,
lot better
right.
at it because
Okay.
I used
Yeah.
to. So right before, so I used to take one dribble, like one
Mm,
solid dribble, right, with good speed, and then pick it up straight away with both hands quickly, and then take my penultimate without losing any speed, pushing and being able to push really hard through my penultimate. But recently, like I would say this year, I'm not doing that. I'm like almost like bringing the ball to the side too much, not picking it up straight away. So then I'm picking it up too late, which is making my penultimate feel worse, not be as explosive. I'm not pushing as
yeah.
hard through it. So therefore, I get it at the end of my jump. I'm not as fast as I should be. I even sometimes slow down a little bit when I shouldn't be. I'm not lowering as well. I'm not pushing as aggressively and as hard, which is like affecting how high I'm getting off the ground, which is reducing
Yeah.
my ability to actually hit trick dunks off the dribble in terms of just windmilling and doing an East Bay and stuff like. Because I'm jumping higher. Because I was looking at footage, I'm jumping higher now than I was when I got closest to hitting an East Bay. But
Which is
I'm
not off
not
the
jumping
dribble.
higher off the dribble.
Yeah, that's an issue then.
I'm not getting closer. So it's a skill issue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's more to do with the approach and the dribble and everything like that, which I think is so interesting. And it just goes to show how much of a skill dunking is. And if you're not executing things properly, approaching things properly in terms of just how you're dribbling and everything like that, and dunking up the dribble, it massively affects and hinders what you can do. Um,
Yeah, no shit. No shit. Like when I actually practice dribble dunks, 1, 2 weeks, they get like at least I'd say 20% better, more efficient. So I think you're definitely onto something.
yeah, like, yeah, but it has to be like conscious practice.
Yeah, conscious practice. Yeah, for
Like
sure.
you gotta like look at
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
doing, assess, study the footage of what you're doing. Am I doing this correctly? What do I need to change? What is inefficient here? What do I need to do better? You know, it's not just doing it and then not thinking about it at all or trying to change how you're doing it at all. It needs to be intentful practice, you know? And I think that's a mistake I was making. I wasn't focusing enough on that and realizing and studying what I was doing wrong enough. It
yeah,
took me too long to realize what I'm doing wrong, and now I realize what I'm doing wrong, so now I can fix it and get way better off dribble, which is good. Because dribble dunks you have a long, depending on how you do it. Generally, the approach isn't as fast, and the ground contact time is a little bit longer, right?
yeah, yeah,
In general, so which is good. That works. That's works better for me because I'm not as fast as say someone like you. So I think that's part of why I'm better off the dribble because I
yeah.
get a longer ground contact time, and also I'm taller too, which helps,
It suits your
obviously.
style for
So it just
sure.
suits me better.
Yeah.
But yeah, you still gotta have the technique. But even for you, like, how do you? Because there's like more than one way you can uh, dunk off the dribble. There's not just one certain style or way. Like for me, I'm picking up the ball before my penultimate, which is what feels best for me and most natural for me, and that's what Jordan does most of the time.
Hmm.
Like that the the 360 behind the back two-hand finish he did this week, like he had that same style. The same style I was
You did,
talking
yeah.
about. And that's like part of the reason why I figured out what I was doing wrong, just watching him as well and him commenting that, oh, you know, the end of your jump looks slow. And then I was like, oh, yeah, actually, you're right. And then I tried to figure out why. And then I figured out why. Just from
Right.
that.
Brody's also very good at dribble dunks. Like I'd say that's his like specialty. It's dribble dunks.
No, 100%. But like, yeah, going back to you, sorry. Like, when you do it, like, what's your style? Like, how do you do it?
I'm the same as you. I do it. I have my last dribble before my penultimate, and then I go into my push, and then my right left, and then jump. So I
Do
think
you
I'm
dribble
literally the
with your
same as
right
you.
hand or left hand?
Left mainly.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you're dribbling with your outside hand too.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Because
yeah.
there's other styles where you can dribble with your inside hand, and that actually looks really good, and you can carry a lot of speed in terms of using that style. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah. Russ.
So you can yeah you can dribble yeah well no not Russ because Russ is different. You can still so you can dribble with your inside hand, but still pick the ball up before you do your penultimate, and then you can dribble
Okay,
with your
yeah.
inside hand, but still and dribble to your penultimate like Russ, and then take off more quickly.
Yeah, I
So
find
if you're a
that's
faster
so interesting, yeah.
So if you're naturally a faster athlete that has a quicker ground contact time, like I would even almost suggest that would be a better style for you.
Yeah. That's when you got to practice a lot though, for sure. That's one where you just need a rep because you're not going to get good at that if you're doing the other style. It's completely different.
Like for me, like I think it's probably just because I haven't practiced it enough, but that style feels like shit.
Yeah. Yeah, nah.
It's probably more because I haven't practiced it enough, but yeah, there's more than one approach you can take and more than one style you can take, and
Yeah.
that's where just studying what you're doing is so important and just studying other people. Like the guy's good at dunking up the dribble, just studying him, working out why, what, like what's he doing? When's he taking his dribble? You know, is he picking up the ball before his penultimate? Is he dribbling through his penultimate? How many steps is he taking? How far away from the basket is he, you know?
Even like looking at where they pump the ball. Because like I think relatively you and I do like a quite a small little pump compared to someone like Brody, who brings it literally below his kneecap,
Yeah.
which I don't know. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, like his range of motion is like, yeah, he brings it below his knees and then brings it up, and it's just a crazy as fuck range of motion. You know, he's a he when he when he does he drills with his inside hand, doesn't he? I'm just trying to go off memory
Yeah, he does
because
like a little scoop thing. Yeah,
his right left and dribbles with his right
yeah.
hand,
I believe so. Yeah.
and he picks up the ball before he does his penultimate.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's another example. Um, as well. And he only takes one dribble. He almost does like a little carry.
That's what I was talking about. He
Yeah.
does like a little scoop around it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then takes one dribble and then takes off. And it's the exact same style like every time. He's like mastered it.
Thinking of someone else who does right hand dribble was Hack for his dribble windmills.
Yeah. But even someone like Chris Staples has quite a cool style. Like he's very good at dribble dunks as well.
Yeah, he's a right hand guy as well, I
Like it's
think.
hard going off the top of my head. I'll have to see like
Yeah.
footage. I
Bro,
could
here's
probably
the reason I do that like behind the back dribble before my dribble dunks. Like I can't not do it now to go into a
oh
dribble dunk.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I saw him do it like when I was 19. I did it once, and now I
That,
can't like not do it.
that's just one
Where's
of
my
those
dribble?
things. That's just one of those things that just builds like rhythm. That it
Yeah.
almost primes like your brain and helps you like visualize what you're gonna do before you do it.
Yeah, I don't bro, I swear I didn't even realize I did it until I started watching footage back. It's like, what am I doing? Why am I doing it on every jump?
All right, I'm on Chris Table's page now. I'm just gonna watch. Uh, I need to
Yeah,
see
it
a
shouldn't be
dribble.
too hard to find, I don't think.
Yeah, next minute it takes like half an hour. Okay. All right, let's watch. It's his inside hand, so it dribbles with his right hand.
Yeah.
Um, like obviously right, left.
Right,
And
left, right
he takes one
handed.
dribble. He takes one dribble. Okay. Now he's doing lob dunks.
Bro, he's like one of
Uh
those rare guys that I would say would hit an East Bay easier off the dribble than off the lob.
oh yeah, yeah.
But he was like dribble specialist. Like in contest, I don't think he ever did lobs. He may have like here and there. I'm trying to think of like a time in FIBA where he would have done a lob dunk. I just can't think of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Corey would know. Shout out Corey, by the way.
Yeah. I'm just trying to like it's because I'm not watching it slow mo. I'm trying to work out. Uh yeah, we don't want to
Staples.
see one foot.
Yeah, his 1 foot's not bad though.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And dunk off the
No.
dribble. Fucking hell. Why is this so hard to find? Okay, we got him dunking over a TV, 98 inch.
Huh. What? Is that some ad?
Yeah.
Has to be. Yeah.
Uh, whole squad. Whole squad got bunnies. But like, yeah, he does pick up the ball and then he takes his penultimate.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So okay, that's quite interesting. So yeah, it's quite a common thing to do that. That's what I like doing best. But obviously you can still dribble through your penultimate. Um, you tend to get a quicker, more explosive takeoff when you do that, like Russ. So there's more than one style you can replicate and you can play around with it or get good at more than one. And but yeah, like what do you think looks cooler, Tom? Like what would you rather see? Like an East Bay off the dribble or an East Bay off the lob?
Depends. Are we just assuming like the height and finish are the same for all of them?
Yeah,
Then dribble. 100%.
interesting. Why?
Yeah.
Just think it looks more natural
Well,
or something?
I don't know. It just looks super like athletic, I think. Just like getting low and pumping the
Yeah.
ball up. But like that's assuming the height and finish are the same. Like more often than not, on a lob, someone's going to be jumping higher than off the dribbles. So I would obviously sway a little bit more towards
There's some
lob dunk.
people
But
there's
yeah,
some people that can fucking get their head to the rim off dribble.
what's that guy's name, bro? Fuck. He does like a lot of events with the NBA. But he's like a dunker. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Um,
He was like he did like an NBA dunk show, and he did like a J Rich two-hand reverse and then hung.
oh yeah. I know who
So
you're talking about
how?
now. I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name. Well,
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
blanking on his
start with
name.
D.
Yeah, I know
Whatever
who
his
exact.
whatever his name
I
is.
know, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, but I'm just blanking on his name. Yeah, he's pretty freaky, man. But it just goes to show you, like, I feel like if you're very skilled at dunking off the dribble, you can get very close to your max of hurt. If you're very skilled off the dribble and you're very good at carrying speed in and pumping the ball well and everything like that. Obviously, off without the ball, you're always going to jump higher, but you should better get very close, I think, off the dribble.
Yeah, we actually had an athlete, right? You know what I'm talking about, Shiv. At one point in his dunk career, I swear he was dunking, or he was jumping higher off the dribble than he was like with a max approach.
Yeah, that's just a practice thing. He just wasn't
Yeah.
practicing max approach because max approach jumps are a skill as well. If you always all you're doing is dribble dunks, you're never doing max approach, then yeah.
hmm hmm
So it is. You become what you practice.
It really is that at the end of the day. But yeah, it does have to be, I'd say, I can't really give a number, but the more conscious practice it can be, the better. Obviously, if you're like super new to dunking and you have no one to talk to, say you're just like in the middle of nowhere, whatever, for some reason, and then you have to learn how to dribble dunk. I'd put money on that. You could probably get like 70, 80%, textbook correct technique without actually having to consult any professional, just through repetitions. But if you want to, hone it in and get those, next 20, 30% to get like perfect dunk technique, that's probably where you need to like alter a little here and there and, get like external help on that. Because like I didn't really watch too much stuff about, learning how to do dribble dunks when I first started. Um, and my technique just got better by rapping it out. Same with jump technique.
Yeah, no, 100%. But if you're not careful, you can quickly form bad habits that are suboptimal too.
It can go the other way as well, for sure. Especially
Yeah.
if you're not someone that's played a lot of sport as well, you're a lot more likely to fall into bad habits. But if you're someone who played a lot of sport growing up, it's less likely to happen, but still not impossible. So yeah, you want to be on the safe side. If you want to make sure you're actually doing it right, there's a couple places you can go to do that.
No, 100%. If you guys are looking to jump higher, you can apply in the link below for JumpMaster X one-to-one online vertical jump coaching. And without further ado, we'll catch you guys in the next podcast.
See you later. JobMasterX.com.